Hey guys.
Oh, you're wearing black. Was that on purpose?
No, but it just worked out that way.
There's a fucking fly, dude.
I know, because Lee
And a
has
fly.
fruit flies
Lee
in
has
here.
fucking flies. You're wearing black, so for
I'm mourning the death of my relationship. You're wearing...
Oh, you said it.
I mean,
She's not afraid. I wasn't gonna say anything, but she's not afraid.
the pics have been deleted. We are going our separate ways.
This is
And
tea time.
that's the real tea of it all.
So the real listeners did notice. They said, "Wow, Harper's wearing green, so that means things are working out." Well, now my honk
We've
is
been having
clad in black.
all black except for my little fugs, and that's what I'm working with today. I'm working with a bad attitude, and I'm working with all black. But you know what? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It was for the best.
Any advice to the listeners?
Here's what I'm gonna say, and this is a lesson that I'm trying to be, well, okay, here's what I'll say. If I had to give advice, I would say, and it's still a lesson that I'm trying to learn myself, is that the little things that start arising in the very, very beginning, I'm talking like first date, second date, third date, first month, second month, the things that arise that early on that make you go, I don't know if I like that, or I don't know if we're compatible. So that's just going to always be there. And that's just not going to go away, which is kind of a fun, cool, neat thing to realize. But, there's no animosity. Like I still care about her and whatnot. I just think that we're just two people that just don't know that we just don't get each other. And it's, not it's a sad thing, but it's like, she's not a bad person. It's just, we have to just...
You two are not, you're not a good match, maybe.
I thought you were going to say something a little bit more silly, and then you went real, and that was jarring for me. But yeah.
Yeah. No.
But we're just not a match, and that's okay. Love and light.
And that's how a lot of relationships are. We get into them with high hopes and think that maybe this will be it. And a lot of people are not good matches for us. And
It's
that is just how it is. A lot of relationships are forced for a long time because we think, well, maybe if we hold on long enough, we will be a good match. But it's like a puzzle piece, dude. You try and mash one in to fit another one. Then we're gonna really fit.
It's just weird too, because now I'm just like oversharing, but but it's like on paper, I was like, well, why is this not working? Like, it should work. We both really want it to work, and it just wasn't. And that's really frustrating, because it's always easy I feel like, to get out of it when like someone, does something shitty or whatnot. You're like, oh, okay, well, now I just need to leave. But like when it's just two people just not really getting each other, I feel like it's kind of hard. You're like, oh, well, I still love you. It's just not, just doesn't work.
Do you think that maybe it didn't work because she... I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I can see it. You're getting really emotional.
Yeah, I know, I'm emotional. Do you think it didn't work maybe because her clit was so fucking big?
Fuck.
Her clit was so big. We thought you had a big one.
We did. Yeah. Yeah, Gab. Are those tears in your eyes from your own
clit,
joke?
the more, the bigger the clit, kind of, it's like the more the stuff that you store a lot more in.
And what would you say you store?
Well, you know that book, The Body Keeps Score, where it's like we store trauma in our body.
And I do know that. Yeah.
Really, I think with women that are difficult to be with, they store a lot of things in their clits, and physical things.
I think you and I would know a lot about clit storage, but
well, she's like taking things from your room and putting them inside of her clit.
Yeah, because here's the thing: I started missing a few lip glosses, and I was like, maybe Gab's borrowing them.
No, and it wasn't me.
And I didn't take into consideration
her fat fucking clit.
This is literally awful. Okay, next, you picked me up from improv today.
I did.
That was honestly really funny.
Was it funny?
Yeah. I felt like a little kid being picked up from school.
That's true. I was thinking today earlier.
Here's the fucking fly again. Lee.
I'm sorry, I have to clean up.
You want to know what it's giving? It's giving Jeffrey Dahmer. We haven't looked in his fucking fridge yet.
I know, because you know that there's at least 14 Red Bulls in there.
I have to do my dishes. That's what it is.
Because the maggots are forming. We are literally on a bed of maggots.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I am sorry.
It's okay, Lee.
Lee's kitchen is rotting, just like my fucking... Okay, it doesn't matter. But anyways, me...
Just to clear things up, she also doesn't have a big clit. And
yeah,
that's that.
thank you, Gab, for clearing that up.
Well, actually, I have no idea. I've never seen her pussy, but
what a dark day that would be if I found out that you did. And you're like, here's the thing.
she started DMing me pictures of her pussy after you guys broke
She
up.
goes, show this to Harper.
Yeah.
See what she's missing. Oh my God. Wait, there's some big, speaking of pussy, there's some big news.
Is there?
I finally heard you fuck.
Whoa, you did.
I know. Not Lee looking so happy. That
Did
just
you
pissed me off.
really?
Yeah, I did.
How did you hear?
It sounded fake, dude.
It was.
Dude.
How did you hear? Were you upstairs?
No, I was actually, this is when I was still in a relationship. I was walking down the stairs.
You heard.
And I heard. And for a hot second, I was like, what is that? And then your door was closed. And I was like, oh God. And I just ran out the door.
Yeah. You heard me deeply.
Taking a beating.
Taking a beating.
I said, my honk, it sounds like I've never heard you work harder. And I was like, whoa, you were in it.
I wasn't.
In the thick of it.
I wasn't.
Into the thick of it. Okay, whoa. And that's on an actor prepares.
Thank you. That's mean. I don't know why I said that. No, I was in it. I was in it.
No, she was in it. And she
actually, you know what I'm going to say? I probably wasn't. Now I'll tell you why.
Whoa.
We had to talk about this the other day because we haven't been able to kiss because I'd been so sick.
Oh.
And fucking without kissing feels kind of
cheap.
You feel like a prostitute, which is wild because in previous relationships, I never kissed.
I know, that's bizarre to me.
Never kissed, especially didn't kiss when I fucked. And now
I'm a kissaholic, so I can't even wrap my head around.
I am not, but I am now.
Yeah. But okay, you guys had to have a little chat saying we missed the kissing.
I said, hey, it's great, but like, doesn't it feel kind of disconnected with no kissing? He said, yeah. I said, oh, yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay. Well, that's great that you're on the same page.
Thanks.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, what's bigger, your clit or his dick?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Girth wise or length?
Length.
His dick. But okay. Girth wise?
Clit. Clitosaurus rex.
Wide clit.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. If we did genital mutilation in the United States of America, my clit would have been real easy to chop off. I mean, you wouldn't have to dig.
You wouldn't have to dig? Okay.
Because I know in some of the little girls that they have to mutilate, you have to really get in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice thought.
I've been spending a lot of time on genital mutilation TikTok.
Okay, I don't know what's going on because I have too, and the videos are horrific, so graphic. And this one woman, she's showing on a pillow. Yeah, the pillow's all stitched up, and she's like, "This is what I looked like for years."
She said that they just shave off the lips.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I need a better education because I don't even know all the parts of a fucking vagina.
Isn't it crazy? She was like naming it, and I was like, I don't know what this is.
No, I was like Googling the word. I was like, labia minora? What's the minora? I was like, okay.
Which one's the menorah? Which one's the menorah?
I feel like the outside, and then I feel like the inside is just like the lab. But here's the thing. I could be aggressively wrong because I don't know what the hell's going on. But here's what I do know. It was all stitched up. So it happens, and then there's only a few countries that have reconstructive surgery. So if it happens in a country where you're shit out of luck.
I bet Sweden's one of them. You know Sweden's probably reconstructing pussies. Sweden and Norway, those are the ones that are always... They probably are.
Okay. Maybe they are.
You'd have to be an anal girl after that. You'd have to just be like, all right.
Well, no, like literally you would.
You'd have to.
Or an oral girl.
Yeah, but you're not going to come from oral. You know, like there are some women who are I love anal.
Well, but I don't think women can come from anal.
Hey,
right?
If you're listening to this podcast and you've come from anal, let us know. And
you're a female.
Let us know. With genital mutilation, let us know.
Yes, let us know.
Send us footage. Wow. Really off to a start.
We're off to a start. Let's see. I'm trying to pick the energy back up, but I
like the energy.
Okay, honestly, I do too, but I just
do it.
Okay, then fuck it. Then I can't be fake, so here it is. But here's the thing: I did go with our other roommate Kate to see you perform. You did great when you were featuring for Felipe at Brea.
Going to Chicago and Texas this weekend. See you there, guys.
Cute.
And it was cute. I was really sick all week. Had to fucking.
And that's on Super Spreader.
Yeah, that was on Super Spreader. I didn't have COVID, but I was absolutely very sick.
Popping Sudafeds.
Today, our subject is step parents.
Well, wait.
But we don't have step parents.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You just kind of moved past Lee and I's catch up, so it's actually not just about you. And I love that.
No, I mean, it wasn't going to move past it. I was just throwing it out there.
What?
No, it was giving really move past. You said...
Listen,
I was tossing out your thing, and then I thought we could toss out my thing.
See,
and
this is what happens when you have expectations and people don't meet them.
Yeah, constant disappointment, but that's okay. I'm used to it. But here's the thing, and I was trying to make a joke about my relationship, and that didn't work, but it's okay. But here's the thing, I just had a sketch come out that I did with Ben Avery, and it was really cute.
It was
you guys
really
can
cute.
Go watch that. It's for their podcast Lemon Party. Very funny, and that's really fun. And then let's see, I had something else that I wanted. Okay. Wait, when does this come out?
Well, okay, so Honk was really upset because she thought that the sketch, she texted us saying it's so unfunny. I thought that I acted really,
okay, because someone messaged me. We're not going to say who, but a person that is in my life, and we love that for me and for them, messaged me saying that I should feel embarrassed of the sketch and that I didn't do a good job. It's a person in my life, and said that it wasn't good, and it really, really got to me. But then everyone and then strangers started messaging me saying that I was good. So I was like, you know what? Everyone can fuck off and let me fucking live. But anyways, that was cute and fun.
Now,
what just happened?
I hate that somebody gave you negative feedback. And I'll tell you what, that's what people do. They like to do that. They like to say the meanest, worst shit to you.
Wait, they fucking do. Because, so someone they were being rude to you about your fucking lips again. Hey guys, guess what? Her lips look great. Shut the fuck up. Get a new fucking joke. Someone messaged me, they DM'd me. It was a man, of course. I'm shocked. It was a man. And he DM'd me and he goes, hey, I don't want to be rude. And I didn't want to leave this publicly because I didn't want to embarrass you. But has anyone ever told you that your teeth resemble a gerbil's? And I was like, no, I've gotten rabbit because I have 2 big fake teeth. And I didn't say this. I didn't even engage.
I'm so fucking bored. I was just
like, hey, why would you go out of your way say, has anyone told you your teeth resemble a gerbil's?
Has anyone ever gone out of, sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Has anybody ever told you that your mom should have had an abortion?
Yeah. Has anyone ever told you that you're a failure to your father? And your father's father, and your bloodline.
Your bloodline, really. All of these all your ancestry, every single person that's existed for you to exist shouldn't have happened.
Has anyone ever told you that?
I can't, dude. Once again, the thing of...
It's never women saying these things either.
No, it's not. It's always men. I got several comments this week on my appearance yet again. What'd you do to her face? What the fuck? They hate it. Man, they get so triggered by my face.
On one of my TikToks, they messaged me. They're like, I think she thinks she's prettier than she is. It's not that great. And I said, okay. So then I said, just for the fuck of it, let me click on his profile. Let me just take a gander. I want to see who's judging me. I want to meet my maker, So I click on him, and you could say it looked like someone baked a potato, put googly eyes on it, pissed on it, and then stomped on it. And that was literally what this man's face looked like. And
you're painting the picture.
And I said, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
People really do fucking hate women online. Our other roommate, Kate, posted a TikTok of herself in a bathing suit and something about her having the same measurements as
Bella Hadid.
She said, something the caption was like, when you have the same measurements as Bella Hadid. And somebody just left a comment saying, you don't. And it's like, go to hell. Go back to fucking hell. Hey, if that's what you think, send a TikTok to your friend and make fun of her in silence like a normal person. Don't fucking leave the comment on the amount of times that you and I send each other content going, ha, 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 fuck them. But you think I would ever in my life?
Whoa, honk. Not all the time.
Ever in my life leave that on somebody's public profile? No, that's so mean. At least be mean behind their back.
Well, here's the one thing. One of our friends, one of our buds, friends is actually a huge word. One of our comedy acquaintances posted something that was legit whack. It seemed like he was having kind of a mental break. So I or maybe a lapse of comedic judgment. So I I did just straight up just tag you
Yeah, I
in
didn't
his
like
picture.
that. And I didn't like that.
But one of our other buddies was like, what the hell's going on here? So then I commented underneath that and I said, Gabby and I were just talking about that. Like, yeah, what the hell is going on here?
You can't do that.
Here's the thing. There's a thing of being a bully, but then there's also a thing of being real.
No.
And you got to be real.
Well, bullies to an extent are always kind of a little bit real, but it's like, keep it.
And that's true.
I mean, bullies aren't entirely wrong.
No, because this boy in 7th grade told me that I had the eyes that looked like a fruit fly because like they're very big. And here's the thing. Is he all the way wrong? I have big bulging fucking eyes. Just like my fucking tits.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, okay.
And so do you think I got fucking mad about that? No, I said, okay, sometimes bitches are going to serve fruit fly. And that's what I'm doing.
Yes. And I've been relentlessly made fun of for having no fucking tits. And now I guess
but you're all fucking lips. In more ways than one. Oh my God. I actually am just putting that together.
And so are the bullies entirely wrong? No. But can you keep it to yourself? You could do that. Let people live.
Can we all just fucking live?
Lee, now, the thing about Lee is I can't tell if he is a bully or was the bully. And that's an interesting shift. That's an interesting dynamic to have as a person.
I think he's a verse.
You think he's a verse?
Yeah, he's a verse. Yeah, he's a switch.
Lee, were you bullied or are you the bully?
Both.
Yeah, it was both.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can fucking read him.
Yeah.
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 But I didn't bully kids that deserve to be bullied. Like,
okay, so you're kind of like Robin Hood. You're like, I'm going to stick up for those who need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I bullied. I like bullied jocks. I bullied the kids who bullied nerds.
Okay. Yeah. So like Dexter, you're like a Dexter type.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're kind of like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
he's murdering the murderers.
Yeah.
I made like the popular kids feel uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable.
And then
so you're kind of like the security guard vibe of like your high school.
Yeah. It turns out that Lee was just jerking off in the corner, watching all of the football players, and they're like, okay, what the fuck?
You guys better not be rude to the nerds or I'm going to squirt on you, Phil.
I was just flirting with one guy relentlessly.
It's a pretty good tactic.
And that's true and that's real.
It is true and that is real. Okay.
Okay, we can't have moments of silence because then I'm actually going to want to
we
blow my
gotta keep
brains
it
out in
moving.
Lee's bathroom. But here's the thing. The theme is step parents don't have any. My
Lee
parents
does.
are too codependent to ever get divorced. Your parents are divorced. Hashtag not married. We love that.
Never had a step parent though. Never had a step parent. Lee, you've had step parents.
Yeah, you have step parents.
I have a stepfather, yeah.
You like him?
No, he was a nightmare.
Yeah, no, he said he was abusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was he never actually, I don't think we've ever had a real conversation.
No.
Yeah.
Are they still together?
No. They got divorced after I moved out.
After you endured all the trauma. She
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
let me hold on to this one so he can really get traumatized.
Yeah. So what happened was
Nice.
He got hurt on the job like the second year they got married. He got a herniated disc in his back.
Okay, it's giving OxyContin addiction.
And exactly.
Yep.
OxyContin addiction.
Yep.
Like right when OxyContin came out.
Yep.
So he was just like, he was just getting, and workman's comp. So he had like a really good job and then had no job at all and didn't leave his room for 5 years.
That's really depressing.
Yep. And was mentally abusive to my whole family.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Fuck it up.
Single mom who works 2 jobs.
Did he have kids of his own?
And he had twins who were
twins.
super weird
Oh.
and
Not sexy, not hot twins.
No, not hot twins.
Younger or older than you?
Younger than me, but older, like a year older than my sister.
Boys or girls?
Girls.
Really not hot.
Whoa.
No, they were not.
That sucks.
And it was home life was uncomfortable. He never disciplined me directly. He made my mom discipline me.
He would
Horrible.
discipline your mom to discipline you.
Yeah, so it
That's
caused
horrible.
it
That's
caused
cool,
like
yeah.
a really bad relationship with my mom because it was my mom always disciplining me.
Did your mom feel bad about it?
My mom was just so stressed out all the time that she like
Fuck, dude.
was
Life
She's
is
just
hard.
trying to like alleviate the stress.
Disassociated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, life is a lot.
Yeah.
For being a step parent, it seems like it would be hard to not fuck the kid. No, I think it would be really hard
Yeah.
to,
Yeah, you can say that again.
you're in there and it's like, I'm not related to these little beasts, but it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
but on another note, I think it's also hard because it's like, if your stepdad, not hot, seemed kind of mean, scary, bad, but for like a functioning normal healthy human who's a step parent, do they exist? I think that it would be hard if you like do want to discipline the kids, like if like the kid is like mouthing off like to the mom or something or whatever, and you want to be like, hey, like don't talk to your mom like that. That does kind of like, it is kind of awkward because you're like, oh fuck, I'm not your real dad, but I am an adult.
Right. You're more of a teacher, really.
Yeah.
Teacher figure.
Oh.
And so like when I was young, he was kind of like cool and like was gonna be like a father figure, and
then he got addicted to Oxy.
And then he got addicted to Oxy. Yeah.
Wow.
And then
is he sober now? What happened?
I don't know. I have no idea where he's at. And then when I was and then like right before I moved out, when I was like 18, 19, he tried to like rekindle like some kind of relationship, and we started doing coke together.
Stop.
Yeah.
Can you look up the daughters online? Can we find them? Do you know their names?
I'm not looking them up.
Can we look them up off the podcast?
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
Please.
I'm going to add them on your Snapchat and it's going to get real freaky.
No, because I need to know now. I want to know. Now I'm invested in this life. Can we look them up after the podcast?
He said maybe.
Please.
Which means thank you.
I think we do. I think we are at least friends on Facebook.
Oh, great. Well, then I've got a direct line. Really?
Yeah.
Where are we going to find them?
Yeah.
I want to see what they're up to.
If not on Instagram too.
I want to see what they're up to.
Okay.
Okay. We'll look up the cuties later. Well, without further ado,
let's get into it. I've never had the pleasure of a step parent, just my own fucking parents. And here we go. Although my mom was a stepmom to my brothers, and I know that my brothers do not like my mommy.
Was the sex not good?
No, I don't think. She definitely didn't. No, she didn't. They didn't fuck.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
Well,
my
mom also kind of gives like my mom kind of gives big gay vibes too.
Oh, so it runs in the family.
Could.
Yeah.
Talking about my brothers.
Talking about you.
I'm not.
Closeted. Yeah.
No.
Still counts. The urges are still there. When I walked by the other night and I heard what you and John were doing, I said, that sounds gay.
Lot of ass play.
Pretty gay.
Lot of ass play.
Sounds
okay.
kind of queer though.
All right. Okay.
Gay.
I'm really uncomfortable. It's just such a homophobic podcast.
Yeah. Well.
So weird.
Welcome to hell.
Step parent prompt. Pathological liar for a stepmom.
Okay.
So it's giving English. You're an English person.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Piece that one together, huh?
Hello, my amazing honks and lovely Lee. People love the alliteration with Lee.
They really do.
Lovely, luscious Lee to Lee.
Hey.
Ooh. That sent a shiver down my spine. Oof. My parents divorced when I was...
What if we just didn't read any of the stories and we just sat here and ran out the fucking clock?
On the alliteration?
Yeah.
And we just... okay.
Lumpy. Literately.
Ludicrously. Laugh attack Lee.
You got it.
Ladily Lee. Come on. Lion Lee.
Okay. My parents divorced when I was 4, and my stepmom, who I'll call Sandy, married my dad when I was 8. Sandy was a big manipulator. She would lure you in, luringly. She would lure you in.
Alluringly?
Yeah. She would lure you in, acting like a cool aunt. Then tell lies about you. It was super confusing as a kid because she'd be your best friend one minute and doing something twisted the next. When I was 9, they rehomed my cat without telling me. This is so fucked. I can't deal with this. They rehomed my cat without telling me because she scratched Sandy's puppy. My dad got her for me as a kitten. And when my parents divorced, she was the sweetest cat. It's so fucked up. Before this, my dad always dumped his unwanted pets on my grandparents. But this one time, he didn't tell my grandma. Either, and we were both heartbroken. They gave the puppy away too. Fuck that, dude. Anyway, A year later, I ended up living with them, which was a nightmare. My dad hated people for using up resources. So Sandy would tell him I'd eaten all the snacks or used all of her toiletries. Or she'd make me huge lunches and dinners, then complain I didn't eat it all. Then when I got chubby from eating it all, she'd complain nothing fit me and I was being greedy.
Oh my God.
That's so psychologically damaging. Not her making you big fat fucking lunches on purpose. Fuck it. That's insane. If I argued with my 4-year-old sister, she'd give her twisted pep talks, whispering things like, don't worry, when you're older, you'll beat her up, won't you?
What?
Ew.
That's how you raise a fucking murderer.
It is. To this day, my sister speaks to me like shit and tries to argue and fight me almost every time I see her. Sandy kicked me out after a year because I tore up a photo of her and my dad when I found it in a photo frame she'd stolen from me. This fucking bitch, dude. Petty shit 11-year-olds do, but she was so angry she hunted me down, dragged me, and smacked my head into the front door 3 times, whispering, you little fucking bitch.
Jesus.
Okay, Sandy needs to go to fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's giving mommy dearest. Then I had to pack all my stuff into trash bags while Sandy called my mom and told her to come get me before she slit my throat.
Enchanting.
A few years later, my mom moved us 150 miles away from them, so I only visited at holidays, but Sandy would still do weird shit to me as a teenager, like stealing and hoarding away all my nice knickers in her vibrator drawer.
Oh,
Ew.
okay.
Ew! Or when I found out she had a secret MSN profile where she used my photos to talk to creeps online.
Okay, that's like chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a chat. That's
What?
so fucked up.
Well, I feel like with like the stepmom stepdaughter thing, I feel like when it gets really bad, it's like when there's like a weird perverted jealousy.
Yes.
And that's just like proving, yeah, she's like jealous of like her youth or something. And
She
so
was
she's pretending.
using pictures of her teenage stepdaughter to send to fucking creeps online. You should be arrested for that. That's a felony.
No, it is. It's like child pornography.
That's so,
Right?
yeah. I mean, not,
kind of.
Not totally,
not-
but in a sense.
But it's in the ballpark.
I could go on and on about Sandy, her life, and all the drama she caused before her and my dad divorced. But let's just say it all
Okay, thank
seems to
God they
come from
divorced.
some serious mummy issues.
Mm.
Yo.
Okay, thank God they got divorced, but that's kind of sad that the 4-year-old got, the cake's already kind of baked in with that trauma.
Yeah,
That's really sad. Maybe with some therapy we can undo that. But oh my God.
So fucked up, dude. That's so fucked up. I'm so sorry. That's
all are
so
growing
deeply
up-
traumatizing.
Oh God, yeah. We're all growing up with a weird little trauma, aren't we?
Yeah, we really are. That's really dark, dude.
Jesus.
Okay.
Well, this one is upsetting in a different way. Okay. No judgments to my sweet little okay, here we go. Hello, my gorgeous honks and hentai Lee. Have you ever had one of those existential realizations that every choice in your life has brought you to where you currently are?
Yes. All the time.
Okay, good. I recently had one of those moments while kneeling in the shower as a man was urinating all over my face and into my open mouth.
Yep.
Well, I don't know why you're that on board, but get Lee's litter box. He's definitely going to come. I am into BDSM, bondage, domination, submission, masochism. I have been okay. I don't know why you're getting so you literally okay.
It's getting juicy.
Well, okay. What, your pussy or the story?
The story.
Okay. I've been getting more extreme over the past 2 years. Whoa. Now just for right before we started filming, and I go, oh my God, it was this story that I was reading. This is the one that like literally was jarring, but really cool. Okay. I had my first golden shower about 3 months ago, although I have enjoyed being degraded and abused since I was 16. Why? I'm sure you're wondering where the stepdad thing comes in. Oh, honey, we're wondering. So when I was about 8, one of the first things I remember was being told that I was a product of oh, good.
Whoa.
Because honestly, that's the age where you got to start letting the kids know the family secrets. All right.
Whoa.
My mom dated Jim, my stepdad, in her early 20s, but broke up with him because she wanted to date around and have fun. She then dated a guy named Jamie, who was more exciting. It's always the J names, y'all. Dated a guy named Jamie, who was more exciting and fun. Turns out this bad boy was abusive. Shocker. He raped her multiple times throughout their relationship, and she ended up pregnant. She got away from him and went back to Jim, who she married shortly after. I always felt like she married Jim because she didn't want to be a single mother. She was pretty unhappy throughout their marriage and was not an emotionally supportive parent by any means. Jim was actually a great stepdad who never abused me. He rarely even yelled, and when he did, it was because I antagonized him. I rarely ever I rarely even refer to him as a step parent. I never had a relationship with my biological father since my mom revoked his parental rights. Jim was an amazing dad, but when my mom told me that I was actually a baby, I started to feel like an outsider.
Ugh.
I began picking fights with Jim, which damaged our relationship even more. This got worse when Jim and my mom had a baby together. I watched Jim with my new half sister, and their connection was amazing. I was always so jealous of this and felt like an intruder in my own home. Fast forward to now. I love being degraded and abused.
Yikes.
And I started to really embrace that several years ago.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say yikes. I just like, it's jarring.
Gabby, when she said yikes, she meant yikes, like yowza, like give me some of that. That was she was
Yeah.
Okay. I love getting beaten, whipped, choked, spit on, doing ass to mouth. Okay, so centipede.
So it's, I was going to say,
Okay,
so it's giving human centipede. Yeah,
centipede. Oh, she didn't write that. I just said, okay. Wearing collars, getting throat fucked to the point of puking.
But
And probably a few more depraved activities. I only date men who can see. I only date men who I can see as a father figure who will control me, lovingly abuse me, and give me the structure that I never had as a kid. I know that all sounds more disturbing than Lee's toilet. But no, girl, because if you saw what he left in there today, it was wild. Okay, but I am so happy now that I have accepted my proclivities and am recovering from my sex-shaming Christian upbringing. Thanks, childhood trauma. Love to see it. This was super long. Sorry for being an attention whore, but I hope you enjoyed it. Love all of you. XOXO.
She's really hot.
yeah, she is hot.
She's
So she
really
sent us
hot.
pictures, which we won't show, but she is hot.
Yeah.
Now, I have thoughts. This is an interesting thing.
Okay.
This is interesting psychologically because you are very aware of this and like that your trauma is a direct result. Like your current like sexual indulgences
A lot of kinks.
stem from trauma.
That's how a lot. It's like part of it is hereditary, but then a big part of it is from childhood trauma
And
or just trauma.
I mean, it does sound not to be judgmental at all. It just, it's always kind of jarring to hear these things because it's like, whew, that's a lot. That's a lot. But also like go off, like that's your
lot
preference.
to like try tonight or
It's a lot to try tonight.
Mhm.
I don't think I would go as far as to write, I want to swallow your spit, cum and shit on my chest. That's just like not for me.
probably like the arm or the ankle.
No.
Would you
Yeah.
have somebody pee on you in the shower?
No.
No.
I wouldn't.
Boring?
Yeah, it's just that stuff does not do it for me.
No, I'm not into that.
Not
But I
into
will say there was a
shit.
period of my life. I would say, yeah. I had to unpack it in therapy, but I definitely, after being abused, I did like sex like rougher, on the rough side,
Yeah.
and then I got into like a mild case of like not like piss play or anything like that, but like the degrading a little tiny bit. I
Yeah.
kind of liked it, but then one day I was like, actually, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
But
I don't
that's kind of
know.
interesting how like that intense trauma can manifest.
Yeah, to see where it stems from.
Mhm.
Phew, the daddy stuff is interesting.
It was great writing.
It was great writing.
Can I look at that really quickly?
Yeah, sure.
There's just some things in there. I had some thoughts about things. Okay, so Jim, there was Jim. You were
So she had a decent relationship with her dad. She was told at 8. I don't think
it's a nightmare, dude.
I don't think you needed to know that. I don't think that was,
I do love that you
or
have
maybe you could
embraced
have
it,
found out
though.
like when you were older. But I mean, look, she embraced it. But I mean, look at like if you go back and read, it was really hard for her, and she started fighting with Jim.
You're lucky you have big tits. I'm so jealous.
Okay, I can't.
Let's see. Yeah, I love getting beaten, whipped, choked, spit on, doing ass to mouth. What is ass to mouth exactly?
It's when the guy's fucking you in the ass and then he takes it out and puts it in your mouth.
No.
That's what it is.
That's what it is?
Oh,
Because in my
I
head, it was like her mouth was on a guy's ass. Like,
No, it's when the dick comes out of your own ass and goes
doesn't
into
that
your
get,
mouth.
get you sick?
Yeah, it can. But I've heard of that before. I didn't know it was called that, but
I know.
yeah.
Look at me sounding like a fucking virgin. It's just, wow. Okay. Wearing collars. Okay, I could see wearing collars. That sounds kind of cute and fun. Getting throat fucked to the point of puking. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That, no. And probably a few more depraved activities. I only date men who I can see as a father figure, who will control me, lovingly abuse me, and give me the structure that I never had as a kid. Now, it's interesting. Okay, so with all of that being said, obviously there are healthy way, like
Not you panting right now.
I know. Is this a healthy way to have a relationship? I'm genuinely asking. Like,
If it's consenting and she's like, I legitimately am into this, it turns me on.
yeah,
It comes from a dark place, but this is what I'm into. I mean, like when you were, I don't know if maybe we'll need to cut this, but if you remember when you were doing that stuff with that guy,
yeah,
and he was into like degrading stuff,
that's
like
true.
he's into it.
It's kink.
That's like what it is. Like,
All right, hey honks and smee. I'd like to tell you about my creepy brother and our hot stepmom.
oh,
To
what the hell?
start, my parents got divorced when I was 15 and my brother was 13.
Mm.
2 weeks later, my dad had a new boo. Okay, so he had a boo the whole time.
Yeah, that's actually what it is.
Sarah, overlap in relationships? Maybe, exactly.
Mhm.
Sarah was 28 at the time. Yo, 14 years younger than my dad. I am now 29 and can't even imagine dating someone 14 years older than me, but go off, sis. Okay, so your dad, big.
You got to fly right by your head.
I can see it.
There's one fucking fruit fly in here.
Yeah, right
so your
now.
so your dad's giving slang and beehole.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Sarah is very attractive and fit, so it is no surprise that my creepy 13-year-old brother took a liking to her. Not your creepy brother. One time, sorry.
I'd rather that than a fart.
Yeah, I don't have any farts today. One time, I was walking into the living room and to my left was the couch that my brother was sitting on. I happened to peek at his phone, only to see him snapping a photo of Sarah's ass as she was doing yoga. Okay. I'm going to put a pin in that. Another time, after I had moved out of the house, my dad told me that Sarah's underwear had started going missing.
Okay. No.
They set up cameras only to find my brother was stealing her underwear and bringing them into his room.
That's so fucking weird.
They confronted him, but he denied everything. Hey, my guy, there's proof. Hey, there's a... He's like, sorry, I was sleepwalking.
He had the confidence of a man at 13. Wow.
Oh, my... Not for him
lying.
to...
I can't.
That's... How did he even... That's not me. That's not me. Hey, yeah, it is. No, it's not. Oh, okay. Then I guess you're right. What in the fuck, dude? My dad also told me about a time that Sarah had been showering and upon getting out of the shower, looked over at the window into the bathroom only to see a dark figure peering in.
Okay.
The window was one of those sort of foggy textured windows, so you couldn't see in clearly. But my dad said it was my brother.
No, because it's like a fucking horror movie.
Needless to say, my brother has some issues and to this day is a bit of an incel. My dad and Sarah are still together to this day, and Sarah refused to get married to my dad until my brother moved out of the house, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
No.
That is dark.
That's really unsettling.
What happened to your
Maybe
brother?
It's like a personality disorder or something.
Right?
Because
I want to know more.
Yeah.
Now this is okay. It is funny though, because it's like, I mean, it's a stepmom, and it's just like basically he's just like living with a hot woman, you know? So it's like, I guess not that.
Yeah, it's not. You're not just living with a hot woman though, because it's not just some random like, oh hey, like this is our new roommate. It's hey, this is the person that our dad is in love with now and having a relationship with.
Well, yeah,
It's
but you think
literally
people
what
don't.
the fantasy is.
You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have not a strong moral compass.
No, because
so,
you think
no.
a young kid is going to respect that and be like, "You're right, father. That is father's beloved wife." No, a 13-year-old kid is going to get all fucking horny and be like, "I'm going to jack off to my hot stepmom's tits."
I mean, there's a reason why this porn category is like what, like the most popular.
Yeah.
But it's still fucked up. I mean, that movie Cruel Intentions was also fucked up with like the step siblings.
I'm wondering
Diddling.
though. Okay, so it is kind of like fucked up, but it's also to me not that fucked up. And you can change my mind. I want to open up this conversation.
I'm not really.
It's not that fucked up to me because it does seem like a very biological thing.
Okay, so
I
can I
agree.
get? I want some. Wait, really quick. I want clarity on what you think is not fucked up. You think it's not fucked up what that kid was doing because he finds her attractive, or you think it's not fucked up that to be attracted to a step parent or whatnot?
I think what he was doing was fucked up. I think that to be attracted to a step parent is natural.
Okay.
I think that he found her fucking attractive and is like jerking off to her. Fine, like that's his own personal business. I think that spying on her, taking pictures of her, and taking her underwear is super inappropriate. Should not have been doing that. That's fucked up. But just being attracted and like thinking your step parent is hot, it's just another human.
I guess in a perfect world, I would love to live in a space where you would just go like and have like just like a strong sense of boundaries. But in a realistic world, I can see where you are coming from. But that's taking the underwear on camera and being like,
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like I said, what
Wasn't
he's
me.
doing is fucked up. But I don't think that being attracted to her is fucked up. He can't help it. It's a hot girl. He's
So
living with a hot girl.
the parenting is fucked up then because who's not teaching him self-control and boundaries? Because there's a fucking issue.
Well, I mean, it sounds as if they kind of tried to. You know, they confronted him.
A little too fucking late.
What are you gonna do? Fucking handcuff his hands to his back and leave him in his room and say you can't leave?
No, I would have a specific children need how do you say it? Specific. There's like it's like that, but it's like a different word. I'm forgetting the word.
Specificity.
See, I was trying to say specificity.
Boundaries.
Boundaries. They need clear communication on what is wrong. Like if like
maybe they did though. She didn't talk about that.
Let's say like a child is like hitting its parent or something.
Leave right into my mouth.
I know. Well, yeah, but
that's one less fly.
It's in his. Yeah, she just swallowed one. So
good. Eat it.
What?
You're so mad
I
because you
can't
didn't have
believe
a
you
hot
guys are
stepmom.
making such a big deal about
Because
fruit
it's
flies.
flying in our
It's
mouths.
fruit flies in LA in spring. Everybody gets fucking fruit
As
flies.
haunted
in
as our
LA
apartment
in
is,
spring.
Yeah, and they're
We've
gross,
never-
and that's all that there is.
Yeah, literally.
And it is what it is.
The attitude is palpable. But here's the thing. So if a child,
he's so mad because he doesn't have a hot stepmom.
yeah, sucks, dude.
That's what it is.
But
if it's had those ugly twins.
okay. If a child is hitting or whatever, you don't just
Sorry.
like Okay, Gabby, we're moving on.
It's
You
giving
don't
The Shining.
Gabby, shut up. Okay, you don't just fucking like scream at the kid and go like, no, don't. Like you should like be like, okay, like if you want to get my attention, this is how you get mommy's attention or whatever. Like you have to like explain to them, and obviously like 13 is older than 5 or whatever the fuck, but you should still be like, okay, like this is like what you're doing is wrong. Now that sounds like this kid is fucking haunted. Love and light to your brother, but kind of like haunted spirit right up in here. But it also sounds like there's just no boundaries being in place until it's like too late.
I mean, 13 is the perfect age to be so horny and masturbating every second of your life to a hot woman living in your house. I mean, we don't know. I mean, maybe the dad did sit him down and was like, hey, can you fucking quit? I wonder what the conversation was like after he obviously, it sounds like he denied stealing the underwear.
That's so fucking whack. If I was
so
that
whack.
stepmom, I would feel so fucking uncomfortable.
I mean, that's why she didn't marry him.
Yeah.
She's like, get this fucker out of the house.
Yeah. No sucky for him.
No sucky for him.
Whack
I mean, good for the dad.
Yeah, no, good for the dad, huh?
Yeah. That is kind of funny. They're going like my creepy. I want to know her relationship with her brother now.
I know, I do too.
Write us in and tell us. Okay. Yo, I got a good one. Honkers. I was 10. My mom was diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenia, and multiple personality disorder.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, you got
Her big
them all.
3. All right. After multiple suicide attempts, she was sent to a mental institution in Texas for over a month. During this time, my dad, who's been a lifelong drug addict, was very rich. We lived in a wild mansion on the water. During this month, wait. Oh, I just saw something about you. I read this already, but I didn't pick that up the first time I read that. Okay. All right. During this time, my dad, who's been a lifelong drug addict, was very rich. We lived in a wild mansion on the water. During this month, he started dating this waitress that worked at a local pizza shop, 12 years younger than him, dumb as a board,
Nice.
with a face as flat as Gabby's chest. No shade, honk. Tits are tits.
Oh yeah, funny.
Your face.
I had to deal with my mom being away and very mentally unwell, and he started bringing this bitch bitch around. It's in all caps. That's why I read it like that. My mom gets out and immediately finds out.
When she wrote that, she was like, Yaz is going to get him. The whole room's going to chortle at this. Yeah? You feel good? That feel good?
Okay.
It's just wrong timing. It's just bad timing.
Also, I should tell you, Gabby, that Lee actually wrote this in. So, okay, it's kind of weird. All right. So I had to deal with my mom being away and very mentally unwell. And
I'm glad that she was.
And starts bringing this bitch around. My mom gets out and immediately finds out and is kicked out. My parents get a divorce, and this dumbass country blumpkin moves into, I think you meant bumpkin, because blumpkin is when you give a blowjob to a man while he is using the bathroom, the
and
toilet.
I like that she fucked that up because blumpkin is funny.
Defecate. Okay. Country blumpkin moves into my house. I'm so pissed that I just stopped talking to my dad and move in with my very unstable mother in a different school district. Eventually, I patched things up with my dad enough to be around her because, well, he's my dad. She was extremely emotionally abusive to me, calling me fat. I was 110 pounds. But what she didn't tell us is that she's 4 feet tall. She'd been mean to me when my dad was out of the room. And then as soon as he was around, she'd be overly nice. And he didn't believe me. She was a straight up gold digger, quit her job, and never worked another day in her life. Gotta support my queens when they can. Okay. One time, my longtime boyfriend and I broke up, and I opened my laptop, and he was still logged into Facebook. They were actively chatting. Okay, now this is kind of fun. They were actively chatting, and she was telling him how he could do so much better than me.
Wait, her stepmom?
The stepmom was chatting with her fucking longtime boyfriend, telling her, like, you can do way better than this.
Yo, that's so fucked up.
This is wild.
That's so fucked up.
That is, yeah, wow. Okay.
Ooh.
And he was still logged into Facebook he could do so much better than me, and she's glad we broke up because I don't deserve him. Wild shit no step-parent should ever do.
Yeah.
She was very threatened by my relationship with my dad and manipulated him to essentially pushing me away.
This is so weird.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The moral of the story is she thinks you're really fuckable, and that's why she's so threatened.
She's so jealous of you, dude. And she wants to fuck your boyfriend.
And also maybe wants to fuck you. I don't know. It's kind of mixed messages. We didn't have a relationship for over 10 years. I was with her one time when I was about 13 and my grandmother died. She refused to drive me. With my sisters and my mom with my dad's vehicle and absolutely no job to do besides watch TV. My sisters drove over an hour to come get me. By that time, she'd left the house because I was so angry. My sisters left notes saying they were going to kick her ass because she was such a lazy bitch. LOL. Also, her son, my stepbrother, on his 18th birthday, told me he was in love with me.
Whoa!
There it is. Yeah. Oh. Asked if the feelings were mutual.
No,
motherfucker.
No.
Well, was he hot, girl?
He did not ask if the feelings were mutual. Get the fuck out of here.
At least he waited till he was 18.
That's
I love
true.
a man that knows timing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that porn category and want nothing to do with your weird ass redneck family.
Whoa.
Also, he sent my sister and I a dick pic on Snapchat last year.
No!
Nope. Just fucking nope. Okay, this family is marked by the beast. This is haunted. Okay.
Whoa, dude.
Anyways.
So hold on.
What?
The stepbrother sent a dick pic Snapchat to his stepsister.
Yeah, after he's already asked her out. And maybe the sister too.
After he confessed his feelings for her.
Yeah.
Now that is a movie I would want to watch.
A24, we listening? No? Okay. Anyways,
that's a clip.
Anyways, my dad got cancer a few years back and I had to come to Jesus moment. Broke up with her once he was in remission. Thank God. Oh, can I read that?
Dad has cancer.
Anyways, my dad got cancer a few years back and had a come to Jesus moment. Broke up with her once he was in remission. Thank God. He realized how manipulative she had been and what it did to his relationships and with his family members. She moved in with one of his best friends a few months later.
No.
All in all, she was an evil person and did so many other specific things I could go into. But I forgive her. After years of resentment, I was able to let it all go and appreciate that at some point, she did provide my dad with happiness, even if it did take my dad away from me. Thanks, honks. I love you. Come to Portland, Maine and do some stand-up. My first ex-girlfriend is from Portland, Maine. And that is on that. That is really fucking wild.
God, that story had all kinds of twists and turns.
I know. But also really beautiful that you can just...
Dude.
The forgiveness was a curveball. But
Dude, good for you.
and you can't even blame the son. I mean, you can't because that's fucked up. But like, of course, the sun's going to be dark when you are being raised by like that haunted energy.
Dude, right.
Thank goodness your dad woke up and was like, "Oh hell no."
I feel so bad for people that are raised by these horrific step parents. It's just like, I also feel bad, like, your parent, like, it sucks that like your parent makes like a fucked up decision in terms of get like a partner. I don't know.
Well, the first fucked up decision, you already brought me into the world and now have to deal with this. And then the
Yeah.
second decision is you're like, okay, so not only am I going to have like mommy and daddy issues, but now we're bringing in these people that they haven't been
These
vetted.
strangers.
These strangers off the fucking street. They're coming
Yeah.
into my fucking house. They're eating my fucking cereal. They're trying to fuck my siblings,
Yeah.
my boyfriend.
And I wonder, like, if there's a thing about, like, a lot of people are shitty step parents because, I mean, a lot of people have no boundaries. A lot of people are kind of, unhinged, bad people. Not to say that they're inherently bad, but I just think that, the human race, I think we're all kind of evil to each other because all of us don't know how to deal with our emotions.
I think that's like kind of a big blanket statement, but it is, true to an extent. I feel like in order to not be evil to each other, you have to unlearn you have to unlearn all of your bad habits that you were raised with. We all have some varying degree of this. And then on the other side of that, you have to learn how to treat people because we're just not taught that in school. For the most part, not by. I have one friend. I've met
But
one
most
person
people are not emotionally
in my life that I've met that is actually emotionally, like, I don't feel like of course she's like, she's in therapy and whatnot, but both of her, she's raised by two moms up in San Francisco, cute. And her mom's raised her with like 12-step philosophy. I'm not even trying to like push this, but like she literally was, because I asked her the other day, I was like, how are you the way that you are? Like, I've never met someone as grounded and like as like a nice, like emotionally responsible, gentle spirit in my life. Like, how are you the way that you are? And she's like, I think it's because my parents raised me with like 12-step mentality. I just know to like let people be and not take things personally. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't think, I mean, blanket statement as you may, but I think that like that is a lot of the human race is we are born free and then we are socially conditioned to be this way. And it's like most people do not put in the work to look inwards and really start looking at themselves. So we all treat each other like shit. So we get into shitty relationships with shitty people who maybe aren't shitty at the core. Most people are not shitty at the core, but
that's what I'm saying. I don't think they are.
Shitty things, and we die shitty, I think, a lot of the time because it takes a lot of work.
I think it's changing though, because therapy, for like boomers and shit and so on and so forth. Like therapy wasn't normal. Like talking about this shit wasn't like in our lifetime.
Yeah.
This is like the first time I feel like it's been socially acceptable to talk about, oh yeah, he fucking raped me. Like growing up, for our mothers, you never fucking talked about that.
Yeah. I mean,
you never addressed that.
Yeah.
And now it's like I know people like shit on the Me Too movement and whatnot. And like any movement, of course, like you have to like go to the end of like where you can push it and then scale it back and like figure out like, like, okay, if a guy gets your drink order wrong, hey sweetie, you weren't, I love you, but no.
Yeah.
No. I think like there are a lot of great changes happening.
Yeah.
But I do agree with like, I mean, like with my breakup, like just our communication tools weren't lining up. It's like no one's a bad person. It's just the way that we communicate just doesn't make sense to the other person.
But then a lot of people sit in that situation until it becomes toxic and resentful, and then you start taking that, and then you get in it too deep where you can't get out, and then you take it out on each other.
And then you become a perpetual victim forever, and you and like
and you get married or you have kids and you get into a situation and financial situation where you can't get away from that person.
I'm gonna bring it up for the 17th time. Daniel Sloss's comedy special on Netflix, Jigsaw. Literally watch it if you are in a relationship like we are describing right now, or like dealing with people like this. It changed my life. It literally changed my life, and I've never had a relationship be the same since I watched this. But I initially, like when you were first talking, Honk, that's why I was like refuting it, just because like it did kind of seem like, oh, humans are all bad, and I'm like, no, I don't think they are. I think that we can get kind of like lost in our pain in our like victim mode. But I think that like, I don't think the majority of people have like cruel intentions. And
No, I don't think so either. But I think that we are so deep, like from such a young age. We're all, it's so crazy because it's like, it all starts from such a young age. A parent gets divorced and then they bring in another shitty person and that kid is exposed to a shitty person and that kid becomes shitty and then everybody's just shitty. And it's just like this mountain of shittiness.
then you have like generational trauma that's trickling down.
Yeah, and I think our generation is doing a good job of drawing attention to it. I mean, dude, it's like legit like why, I was looking at my fucking dad's Facebook and he's posting all this like transphobic shit and it's like because their generation wasn't this wasn't accessible for their generation, right? So then now there's all of this like shitty fucking fear and anger towards
right. But I mean, like they're getting
people.
older and older, and it's still sad and awful. And especially like the people that are in office that are making these horrific decisions, like banning drag shows in Tennessee. What the fuck is that? But like,
don't get me started on Roe v.
no,
Wade.
I fucking can't. But with like our generation and even like I'm in like I keep talking about, like I'm in the fucking improv class with and I'm like one of the oldest people in the class. Like almost everyone's like 20 to like 23.
Oh.
And like they're really cute, sweet people.
Yeah.
And like therapy is so normalized for them. And I was like, wow, like it was not like this when I was fucking 20. And it's like I'm just 10 years older, 7 years older than some of these people. But I feel like I feel like a fucking geezer, like seeing like
Not geezer.
how completely different it is. And also like how even like how socially acceptable it is for like the younger generation to be gay and explore certain things where I'm like, whoa, like it was not like that.
I know when we were in high school, like there was maybe one gay person
and everyone knew
didn't talk about it.
Hey, don't change when Rachel's in the bathroom, the fucking queer. It's like, whoa.
That's so crazy that's how it was when we were just in high school. That was like 15 years ago.
Yeah. And it's already changed so much. That's why I'm like, whoa.
Slowly.
Fake sneeze. Trying to cut the tension.
All right.
Fake sneeze.
All right. Should we
One more.
I have a short one.
We were reading one more.
Okay.
Mine are so long. Okay. This is a long one. Okay, so I actually have my fair share of step-parent stories because my parents got divorced when I was young and both of them decided to make it very much my problem. The first one I can remember is when I was 6 and my mom and my dad's flavor of the month had a literal punch on in a very public car park.
A punch on like a public fight? Are they fucked?
Yeah.
A punch probably means a fight.
Yeah, okay, so it's giving you're also from England and you Brits.
Okay, not our audience.
You got some funny words.
Had a punch on.
My mum and dad's flavour of the month had a literal punch on in a very public car park. All right. Vague memories of this, but go off, mum. My dad has a literal restraining order.
No, keep going that with the accent.
Okay. My dad has a literal restraining order because one time she punched him in the face and ripped the silver Toyota thing off the front of his van. Again, not a provoke, but go off, sis. Okay, so your dad has a restraining order against your mom? Okay, whatever. 6 years and another baby. Later, they split again for goods this time, and my dad started dating my mom's best friend. 3 weeks after they were separated. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Pain, pain, pain. So much pain. Everybody, oh my God. I went to school with the new woman's, let's call her Fuckerella. Let's call her Fuckerella.
Okay.
Kids. So, okay. I went to school with the new woman's kids. So it was all very close knit. Obviously, this caused some turmoil between my now separated parents, but also this woman was and still is batshit crazy. And this was your mom's best friend. That's wild. It started when I was made to sleep out in a camper van outside of the house because there wasn't enough room inside. Nightmare. She would steal my dad's phone and write crazy texts to my mom and delete them and then show me, a 14-year-old, all the crazy texts my mom would send my dad. Whoa, dude.
Jesus.
She also put it in my head that there was an ongoing custody battle between my mom and my dad and that my mom was trying to make sure we never saw dad again. She also, what the fuck is up with all of these crazy ass women? I'm getting fucking
I was
heated.
kind of hoping for some more like, our queens aren't doing too hot in these stories.
Our women
and
are
I try
not.
and ride for these women, but it's hard.
This is dark, dude. A lot of these women, there's a lot of mental illness in these stories. A lot of these weird controlling women, like, trying to manipulate the kids and whatever. She also literally would not let us fart inside, which is just giving massive pick me energy, screaming.
Oh my God.
Like as if this bitch has never farted and does not own a butthole like a real woman.
That's like some like weird southern shit though,
So
because one
weird.
time my friend's mom pulled the car over because like I was like, oh my God, did someone fart? And she pulled the car and she's like, don't discuss that
No.
again. And I was like,
No.
okay.
As I got older, she got really and very weirdly jealous of how close me and my dad were.
That's
Dude, this is
really horrific.
It's like all these women think that the dads want to fuck their daughters, which well, maybe there's some truth to that. But no, I mean, it's so weird. It's like
of
these
all the
really
people to be jealous about, be jealous of the woman that maybe he works with or he texts with all the time, not his fucking daughter.
Stop like interfering with like the father-daughter relationship. Like it's so fucked up. These women are batshit, dude. Batshit. Okay. She got really weirdly jealous of how close me and my dad were. But also, here's my next question. Were you sucking the dad off as good as the daughter was?
Okay, valid question.
Thank you. Okay, so who's giving better head? It sounds like the daughter is. Okay, as I got older, she got really very weirdly jealous of how close me and my dad were, and part of this was planning literal overseers holidays with her whole family and my dad and brother. My dad and Fuckarella dated for around 7 magical years. I can and will elaborate on those later if you want. When he went away on holidays, she would literally break into his house and go through his computer. And that's not even the half of it. And in this time, my mom also got a new 3 out of 3 husband too. This is where it gets a little wild. Okay, fuck, dude. Honorable mention for mom's second partner, though. He was rad. Mom would have baths that would last hours, and he would sit in his boat and smoke weed together. That's cute. And we would sit in his boat and smoke weed together. Not in the least bit creepy. Love and miss him. I didn't realize at the time because I was so young, but he was a huge misogynist. But I was like 12, and he had a sick motorbike and an FWD that we would take up on the beach. So he was all right with me. What's an FWD? Whatever. We're going to call mom's third partner Charles. This is because he looks like one of those King Charles Spaniels. That's funny. This man is the epitome of toxic masculinity and deeply closeted queerness. To introduce him properly, I will start with the story of when his kids were younger. They had pet guinea pigs, Australia's version of a hamster, but on steroids. Oh, you're Australian. When he decided this better not end with some fucking animal abuse. When he decided the piggies were too much to handle, no, I can't read this. I can't read this. Trigger warning. She said trigger warning. No.
Okay, what?
He put them all in a pillowcase and clubbed them to death with a shovel.
That's even worse than I thought it was going to be.
I'm going to pretend that that's not real. That's really horrible. No. To showcase a speck of the internalized homophobia, this Spanish man would then have to remove a hardy carpet of back hair before he would go on holidays. That was really upsetting about the guinea pigs. That's really I hate that. One time he asked me to go get him the hair removal cream from the shops, and I almost had this man in tears begging me to please only get him the men's Nair. Like he was brought to tears at the thought of having to use women's hair removal cream on his manly back hair.
That brings him to tears, but bludgeoning guinea pigs.
No, I can't. Now, this man was also the king of pretending he was a good guy, but secretly being the slimiest of slime. He would do things to intentionally provoke me. My little autistic BPD law student ass is ready to square up about things I'm passionate about. He would literally grope and manhandle my mom in front of me.
Oh, ew.
Ew, dude.
Ew.
What the fuck?
Ew.
Make racist and homophobic comments about the people on the TV shows we were watching because it would get me so upset. And the kicker is that on my 21st birthday, without me asking, he invited close to 20 of his crusty, musty, dusty sports bar mates to come crash my party. Fuck this guy. What a piece of shit, dude. A party full of 21-year-old girls. He was also so uncomfortable at me and my friends who were 17 at the time being in our bikinis around the pool. He told my mom to tell us to cover us up, to tell us to cover up. He was a raging alcoholic and would hit and be an absolute cunt to my mom when he would drink. Thursday through Sunday. When he was drunk, he would literally scream in his sleep like he was being murdered. Honestly, he should have been. He went through an active assault trial in the time he and my mom were married, not against my mom. He tried to come on to my nan, my mom's mom. What? He was a nurse at an old person's home and would film all the patients and make fun of them. Okay, this man's pure evil, dude.
He needs like
man is
to be
pure
arrested.
evil.
Jesus.
Why do parents marry these people? Why?
I mean,
Fuck, dude. I just wish I could really explain the full extent of his wrath, but the only reason they broke up and what finally made my mom crack is when she got home from work. Oh my dad, stop. Is when she got home from work one day and he was lying on the bed, sprawled out, butt ass naked, and my mom asked if she was going, and asked my mom if she was going to do something about it.
okay.
She divorced him, but I would probably have gotten put away for grievous bodily harm. She just divorced him, but I would probably have gotten put away for grievous bodily harm for Chinese burning his soft little dick right off. This isn't really all that crazy now that I read it back, but
No, it's pretty crazy.
It's pretty fucking
crazy.
bad.
I think with Love and Light, you're numb, but that's pretty crazy.
But in the moment, it was a time. I love y'all so much. The pod literally got me through the worst burnout of my life. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
Okay,
I just can't find, and I think you broke my brain because I just can't find anything other than rape jokes and cousin fucking funny anymore. I'm so sorry because honestly,
I know. Honestly, I'm sorry too. But at least we all have each other to laugh with.
She sent us all these pictures. She sent us a picture of her tits.
Okay, I love that.
You have a great body and you have better tits than I do, and I love that. And what a nightmare, dude! That was all fucking pure nightmare. So what we've learned, the takeaway from this episode, is step parents are fucking horrible. 13-year-olds are gross. Men marry horrific women and women marry horrific men.
It sounds like if you're a step parent, the best, I mean, you're either going to be like clinically hot or clinically evil. Just hope for the clinically hot.
I just don't understand, like, are parents so burnt out that they don't realize these partners that they've chosen are also the worst people in the world? Why does it take them so long?
Yeah, think about like when your friend, like, why the fuck are you dating him or her? Like, what are you doing? It's like, because like the sex, I mean, like maybe the sex was so good they could look over animal abuse. I don't know. It's
Really dark. Dude, by the way, I watched this documentary this week. If you guys want to get really fucking sad, it's called The Girl in the Picture. And wow, talk about hot tea. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
What's it about?
It's about a little girl who ends up getting murdered. And throughout the documentary, they're figuring out that this girl was not who she said she was.
The little girl?
She wasn't who she thought she was. And you uncover who this woman really was. And she like died not knowing who she was.
As a woman or a little girl?
As a woman. She was murdered at like 21.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't even know who she really was. And they get into this.
Wait,
it's called
what's it
A
on?
Girl in the Picture. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Did you see it?
I heard about it when it came out. I haven't watched. I tried to. The first episode didn't hook me. I'll have to go back.
No, there's no episode. This is just a documentary.
Oh, yeah. It just didn't hook me at first.
Really
Actually, I heard
fucked.
Tim Dillon shit on it, and I just didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tim Dillon's fucking wrong for that because it's really fucked up.
Okay, you guys, we're gonna end on this little one.
Okay.
And I have like a few other stories, but this is what
We
we'll
can
end
read
on.
more on Patreon.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you on Patreon. We got a bunch.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're a little light on Patreon content.
Okay, cool. So here's the last story. Honk. Okay. Hey, Sassy Honk, Gassy Honk, and Cat Daddy Lee. When my mother moved in with her soon-to-be husband, I had an entire 3-bedroom condo to myself, and it was amazing, especially since this was during the time I was stealing random lawn ornaments. Call back from the stealing stuff episode. After my mom got married, my stepsister moved into the house with her baby for a week. Before she moved in, I gave her 2 simple rules. Number 1, don't smoke by the windows. Number 2, I'm not your kid's babysitter, so don't leave her alone. She moved her stuff in while I was at work and came home to all my stuff, including my mattress, thrown into one of the smaller rooms. She was an inconsiderate psychopath who broke both rules on the first day, as her routine was to park her ass under the open window and smoke while on her iPad while her kid wandered around a very not child-proofed house. So I always came home to a whiny child in an ashtray-scented house. One morning, I found her car running in the closed garage with no one at the wheel.
No.
She overflowed the toilet, would leave the house unlocked, and always acted like she was high on meth. Well, honestly, maybe she was.
This is kind of me.
Well, she also had a huge drinking problem and would constantly be drunk around her kid and would lock herself in her room while she wasn't smoking.
Okay.
When she left and I reclaimed my room, I found 27 empty bottles
No.
of cheap ass white wine in the drawers of the bedroom. Whoa. She was only there for 6 days, which is over 4, almost 5 bottles a day.
Whoa.
Now she is sick from abusing laxatives and has chilled out some. Anyways, my fiance and I love the podcast.
Whoa.
Chaotically fart cuck. Oh, P.S. I peed in her wine once when I was drunk.
Good. I pray for these people. I hope they get the help that they need.
Yeah.
What a fucking episode. Sorry, guys. That wasn't very funny. But it will leave you thinking, I'm bummed. It will leave you. This episode, you will leave feeling bummed.
Here's the thing. You're either going to be bummed over my breakup, over Gabby's verbal abuse she takes on the internet, or these parent stories, or the fact that Lee's stepdad wasn't hot. Now, here's the thing. You kind of got, the world is your oyster. You can just cherry pick which thing is the biggest bummer. But the most important thing is we have content for you guys every week. You guys can join us on Patreon. We'll spill extra tea on there.
Yeah, we've got some good Patreon stories.
Subscribe where you listen. Follow us on Instagram. That's where we post the prompts for these episodes every week on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like this show, tell your step parents, tell your step sibling, go on Pornhub and drop this podcast and a link on Pornhub under a step parent video if you'd like.
Yeah, do it.
And if again, Tea Time Patreon is wait, just kidding. I'm trying to see what Lee's writing. Okay, the email for our prompt is teatimestories42069 at gmail.com.
Subscribe to Patreon. We read a lot of your extra stories on there. So if you don't hear your stories on the main episode, there's a pretty high chance it's going to be on the Patreon. And
we got 2 juicers that I'm going to read on Patreon right after this.
And also, if you guys want to throw out suggestions for things you'd like to hear us talk about, please let us know. Love you. Bye.